Have you ever wondered why you wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning even when your bladder is not really full? It feels like a small nuisance. But for older adults, this repeated interruption can quietly steal health, shorten deep sleep, and slowly affect memory and mood. Doctors call it nocturia, but most people simply call it exhausting. Here is the surprising truth. Your bladder may be sending false alarms. Instead of waiting until it is full, the nerves start firing too early, tricking your brain into waking you up. This is not just about losing rest. Broken sleep night after night weakens the immune system, increases the risk of falls, and makes daytime fatigue much harder to shake off. But here is the hopeful part. There are natural ways to calm the bladder without medicine. Today, I am going to show you how pressing 3 simple bladder points before bed can help retrain the body, relax the nerves, and give you the peaceful nights you deserve. It takes just a few minutes, and you can do it right in your own bedroom. Before we begin, I would love to hear from you. Where are you watching this video, and what time of day is it? Please share in the comments below. And if you find this helpful, remember to like and subscribe so you will never miss another simple tip that could change your nights and your mornings. Why the body after 60 wakes up too often at night. One of the most important shifts happens in a hormone called vasopressin. This hormone tells the kidneys to slow down urine production at night, allowing us to rest without interruption. But after 60, the body makes less of it, which means the kidneys keep working almost as if it were daytime. The result is simple, but frustrating. More urine is created during the hours when you most need rest, and sleep is broken again and again. At the same time, the bladder itself grows more sensitive with age. When we were younger, it could hold nearly 2 full cups before sending an urgent signal to the brain. After 60, that capacity often shrinks to half a cup, about 150 milliliters. Imagine being pulled out of sleep by your bladder even though it is barely half full. The brain responds as if the situation is urgent, but the truth is, there is hardly enough inside to justify the trip. This false urgency makes the night longer, the rest lighter, and the mornings heavier. Lifestyle choices also play a bigger role than many realize. A late glass of water, a salty dinner, or even that comforting bowl of soup after sunset can load the bladder at the wrong time. Stress adds another layer, tightening the nervous system and making the bladder even more reactive. Medications for blood pressure, diabetes, or heart conditions often increase urine output as well, creating yet another challenge. For an older adult in Dallas or Delhi, the result feels the same. You may wake 3 or 4 times a night, not because your body is broken, but because small habits are working against you. The hopeful news is that these changes do not mean you are powerless. By shifting most fluids to earlier in the day, reducing salt at dinner, and practicing a calming routine before bed, you can gently retrain the body. Many seniors find that when they adjust timing and habits, the nights become calmer, the mornings lighter, and the feeling of control returns. Growing older may bring new challenges, but with awareness and small steps, you can still guide your body toward peaceful healing sleep. The natural healing principle of acupressure. For many older adults, the idea of taking yet another pill at night feels heavy and unwelcome. That is why acupressure, a simple technique rooted in both Eastern tradition and supported by Western curiosity, has become a safe and trusted alternative. Unlike medication, It does not strain the stomach, the kidneys, or the wallet. It uses nothing more than gentle pressure with your own fingers on specific points of the body. In India, elders often remember parents or grandparents pressing certain areas of the foot to ease discomfort. In America, seniors are rediscovering this practice through wellness clinics and physical therapists. The beauty of acupressure lies in its simplicity. You do not need special equipment or long training. Just a few minutes before bed can offer a sense of calm, reduce the signals of urgency, and invite sleep in a natural, non-invasive way. Scientists now understand more clearly how acupressure works on the nervous system. The bladder is controlled not only by muscles, but also by nerves that send messages to the brain. As we age, these signals can become too quick, telling the brain to wake up even when the bladder is not full. Gentle pressure on certain points helps reset these signals, calming the overactive nerves and restoring balance. Think of it like turning down the volume on a radio that has been too loud for too long. With practice, the body learns to respond differently. Instead of sending false alarms at 2 or 3 in the morning, the nervous system waits until there is a real need. This change brings a deep sense of relief, not just to the body, but also to the mind that has been longing for a full night of rest. But why focus on just 3 points when there are hundreds in traditional charts? The answer is both practical and proven. These 3 points, drawn from generations of Indian, Chinese, and Japanese healing, connect directly to the pathways that influence the bladder and kidneys. They are easy to locate, safe to press, and do not require bending or stretching that might be difficult for aging joints. Modern studies in urology and physical therapy confirm their benefits, showing reduced nighttime urination and improved sleep quality in seniors who use them consistently. For a grandmother in Mumbai or a retired teacher in Ohio, the effect can feel almost the same. Within a week or 2, nights become quieter, mornings brighter, and the sense of helplessness begins to fade. This is not magic, and it is not instant. It is simply the body remembering how to heal itself when guided gently and consistently. Acupressure is not about replacing doctors or ignoring serious conditions. It is about giving your body a chance to cooperate with you instead of fighting against you. By pressing these 3 points each night, you remind your system to slow down, to breathe, and to trust its natural rhythm. Aging may bring challenges, but it does not remove the power to take small steps toward comfort. With this simple practice, hope returns, one quiet night, one rested morning, one gentle press at a time. Bladder point 1. The center of the foot. The first bladder point worth learning sits quietly in the middle of your foot, a place many people rarely pay attention to. If you run your thumb gently along the sole, you will find a soft hollow about 1 inch below the ball of the foot, roughly halfway between the heel and the toes. This small depression, often called the bubbling spring in traditional practice, is easy to miss if you do not look for it carefully. Yet for older adults struggling with frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom, it may hold surprising value. By pressing here, you tap into one of the body's natural calming points, a place linked to both the kidneys and the bladder. Finding it is not difficult, but it does take a bit of patience. Sit comfortably in a sturdy chair, keep one foot resting across your knee, and use your thumb to explore the sole. Feel for that soft dip in the center. It should not be painful, but it will feel slightly tender compared to the surrounding area. Once you locate it, press gently with steady pressure, holding for about 30 seconds, then release. Repeat this 2 or 3 times for each foot. For those with stiff hips or knees, a simple tennis ball rolled under the arch while seated can also stimulate the point safely. The key is gentleness. If you feel sharp pain, you are pressing too hard. Acupressure should bring relief, not discomfort, and with practice, your confidence in finding the spot will grow. Why bother with such a small place on the body? Because science shows that stimulating nerve endings in the foot can reduce tension signals from the bladder and improve circulation to the kidneys. Many older adults report feeling calmer and more relaxed after regular practice, as if the nervous system has been soothed. For someone waking at 2 or 3 in the morning, this small shift can mean falling back asleep quickly instead of lying awake for hours. Better circulation also means less heaviness in the legs and fewer cramps at night, 2 common complaints among seniors. In short, this point acts like a natural reset button, telling the body it is safe to rest deeply. Let me share 2 stories that bring these ideas to life. In Mumbai, a 68-year-old grandmother named Asha had almost accepted that broken nights were part of aging. She often woke 3 times before dawn, each trip leaving her more discouraged. At the suggestion of a family friend, she began pressing the center of her feet each evening while sitting in her favorite chair. Within 2 weeks, she noticed she was waking only once, and sometimes not at all. On the other side of the world in Ohio, a 72-year-old retired teacher named Robert had a similar experience. He had grown weary of his doctor suggesting stronger sleep aids, so he tried acupressure as a last resort. After nightly practice, he began to sleep 5 or 6 hours straight, something he thought was no longer possible. For both Asha and Robert, this simple act gave back not only sleep, but also hope. So if you find yourself exhausted from restless nights, remember that relief may be as close as the sole of your foot. By pressing gently on this first bladder point, you remind your body to slow down, to calm the signals, and to welcome rest. Aging may bring new challenges, but with small, consistent habits, you can still guide your nights toward peace and your mornings toward strength. Bladder point 2. Behind the knee. The second bladder point sits in a place we often overlook, tucked quietly into the crease behind the knee. If you run your fingers along that fold, you will feel 2 tendons running down toward the calf. Right in the middle, between those tendons, lies a sensitive spot known in traditional practice as a bladder meridian point. For older adults who often wake at night with the urge to urinate, this area holds surprising importance. It connects directly with nerves that influence the lower body, including the bladder. Though hidden, it is easy to reach with your own hands, and once you learn to find it, it becomes part of a gentle nightly routine. Applying pressure here is safe when done with care. The best position is sitting comfortably on a sturdy chair, placing one ankle over the opposite knee, so the back of the knee is easy to access. Use either your thumb or your middle finger, whichever feels natural, and press gently into the center of that fold. Hold the pressure for 20 to 30 seconds, then release. Repeat the process 3 times on each leg. The touch should feel firm, but never painful. Think of it as reminding the body rather than forcing it. If you feel sharp discomfort, ease off immediately. Over time, many seniors find the sensation becomes more comfortable, almost like the body is welcoming the touch. Why is this point helpful? Behind the knee lies a network of nerves and blood vessels that connect the lower body with the brain. Gentle pressure here helps calm overactive signals from the bladder nerves, the very messages that wake you at 2 or 3 in the morning, even when the bladder is not truly full. It also improves blood circulation in the legs, easing the heaviness and swelling that many older adults experience after a long day. Better circulation means less nighttime restlessness, fewer cramps, and a calmer nervous system overall. The result is not only fewer trips to the bathroom, but also deeper, more refreshing sleep. This small practice acts like a reset button for the lower body, reminding it that night is for resting, not constant signaling. Mrs. Helen, a 74-year-old widow from Texas, who had almost given up hope of sleeping through the night. She often woke 3 or 4 times, feeling drained and frustrated each morning. Her doctor suggested more medication, but she longed for a natural solution. After learning about the bladder point behind the knee, she began pressing it each evening, combining the practice with slow, deep breathing. The first nights showed little change, but after 10 days, she noticed something remarkable. She slept 6 full hours without waking, something she had not experienced in years. Her mornings felt lighter, her memory clearer, and her mood brighter. She shared that the practice not only helped her body, but also gave her confidence that she could still guide her health with small, intentional actions. So if you find yourself rising again and again at night, consider adding this second bladder point to your evening routine. It takes only a few minutes, costs nothing, and can gently remind your body to rest. Aging may bring new challenges, but by pressing here with patience and care, you can rediscover nights of peace and mornings filled with strength. Bladder point 3. The lower back. The third bladder point rests quietly on the lower back at 2 small spots that sit about 1.5 inches away from the spine. If you place your hands on your waist and slide your thumbs inward toward the backbone, you will find the general area. These points lie level with the lumbar region, close to where the kidneys sit, and they have been valued for centuries in traditional healing practices. For older adults who often feel tension in the back or pressure in the bladder, these spots are especially important. They serve as gateways to both relaxation and improved balance within the body, even though most of us never think to touch them. Working with this point does not require difficult movements. One of the simplest methods is to use your own fists, gently pressing the knuckles into the lower back while leaning against a chair or wall. Another option is to place a small massage bowl between your back and a flat surface. Then lean until you feel steady pressure. Hold that position for about 30 seconds, breathing slowly and deeply, then release. Repeat 2 or 3 times, being careful never to force the pressure or create pain. The goal is calm stimulation, not strain. With practice, this routine becomes both familiar and comforting, a nightly ritual that takes less than 5 minutes but can change the rhythm of sleep. The benefits go beyond comfort. Pressing these points helps release tension stored in the muscles of the lower back areas that often tighten with age stress or long hours of sitting. It also supports circulation around the kidneys and bladder, encouraging these organs to work more smoothly through the night. Many seniors find that the signals urging them to wake become less frequent, allowing for longer stretches of uninterrupted rest. Improved blood flow also reduces stiffness in the morning, making it easier to rise from bed without that heavy dragging feeling. For someone already anxious about falling or feeling weak, this small shift can restore a sense of strength and independence. Mr. Anand, a 70-year-old retired banker from Pune. For years, he depended on sleeping pills, convinced that his body no longer knew how to rest naturally. Yet the side effects left him groggy, forgetful, and frustrated with himself. On the advice of a neighbor, he began pressing the lower back points each evening while lying on his firm mattress. At first, the changes were subtle, just a bit less tension in his back. But after 10 days, he noticed something he had almost given up on: 6 hours of continuous sleep without a single pill. His mornings felt lighter, his mood steadier, and his confidence slowly returned. He said that what meant most was not only the better sleep, but also the relief of knowing he could still take charge of his health with his own hands. For seniors in both America and India, the message is the same. Aging may bring new challenges, but it does not erase your ability to influence how your body feels. By gently pressing these lower back points, you are not just calming the bladder, you are telling your body that rest is possible, that peace is still within reach, and that each night can end with healing rather than struggle. This practice is small, but the hope it brings is immeasurable. Combining the 3 bladder points with supportive habits. The true benefit of acupressure comes not only from pressing the right points, but also from practicing them at the right time. Timing is often the missing piece for older adults who try many methods yet still struggle with restless nights. The best moment to work on these 3 bladder points is just before going to bed, when the body is ready to shift into rest mode. Pressing them too early in the evening may allow their calming effect to wear off, while pressing them too late, such as after midnight, may disturb your sleep routine rather than support it. Think of it like dimming the lights in your house before bedtime. By giving the nervous system a clear signal that it is time to relax, you prepare both bladder and mind for a longer stretch of deep, unbroken rest. Along with pressing the points, daily choices about water and food play a powerful role. Many seniors unknowingly set themselves up for nighttime bathroom trips by drinking large amounts of water after dinner. A better approach is to drink most fluids earlier in the day, finishing your last full glass by 7 p.m. This allows the kidneys to process fluids while you are still awake and active, rather than while you are trying to sleep. Reducing salt at dinner is equally important, since salty foods increase thirst and force the body to hold extra fluid that later demands release. Adding a few minutes of deep breathing before bed also helps. Slow, steady breaths quiet the nervous system and lower the stress signals that make the bladder overreact. For someone in New York or New Delhi, these simple steps can turn a restless night into a restful one. Creating a 5 to 7 minute bedtime routine is one of the most effective ways to combine all of these tools. Begin by pressing each of the 3 bladder points, spending about 30 seconds on each spot. Move slowly and gently, treating the process as an invitation to calm, not a chore to complete. Afterward, sit or lie quietly and take 5 deep breaths, filling the lungs through the nose and releasing slowly through the mouth. Finally, add a gentle stretch, perhaps rolling the shoulders or flexing the ankles to ease tension that builds during the day. This short routine does not require special equipment or great effort. What matters is the message it sends to your body that the day is complete, the nervous system can rest, and the bladder does not need to sound alarms until morning. Consistency is far more important than length or intensity. Even if you practice only a few minutes each night, doing it regularly builds trust between your body and mind. Most seniors begin to notice changes within 2 weeks, a little less urgency, a little longer rest, and a lighter mood upon waking. The practice may feel small, but its impact grows over time. By staying patient and steady, you remind yourself that health is not about quick fixes. It is about quiet habits, repeated with care, that slowly restore balance. With this approach, your nights can become calmer, your mornings brighter, and your confidence stronger. Aging may bring challenges, but it does not take away your ability to shape each day and each night with wisdom and choice. One of the first concerns many people share is whether pressing these bladder points should cause pain. The truth is that acupressure should feel firm, but never harsh, more like a steady reminder than a sharp push. If you notice strong pain, it usually means you are pressing the wrong spot or applying too much force. Gentle pressure held with patience brings comfort rather than discomfort, and that is the feeling you should aim for. Think of it as speaking kindly to the body, not scolding it. Another common question comes from those living with conditions such as diabetes or high blood pressure. The good news is that acupressure can still be used safely provided you approach it with care. Pressing gently, limiting the time to about 30 seconds, and avoiding excessive force are the best guidelines. It is also wise to check with your doctor, especially if you are managing multiple medications. Many older adults in both America and India have found that combining medical advice with simple acupressure practices gives them both safety and relief without unnecessary worry. There are also times when acupressure should not be relied on alone, and recognizing those moments is vital. If your nighttime urination is accompanied by blood in the urine, burning pain, swelling in the legs, or sudden changes in overall health, it is important to seek medical evaluation. These signs may point to conditions beyond the scope of acupressure, and delaying care could make things worse. Remember, natural practices are helpful tools, but they are not replacements for professional guidance when red flags appear. Finally, many seniors wonder if acupressure can be combined with other calming activities. The answer is yes, and doing so often increases the benefits. Gentle yoga stretches, 5 minutes of deep breathing, or a short walk in the evening can all work alongside acupressure to settle the body. These activities reduce stress hormones, improve circulation, and quiet the nervous system, making the bladder less reactive. In everyday life, pairing these habits can turn bedtime from a moment of frustration into a ritual of peace. With consistent practice, you may not only reduce nighttime trips to the bathroom, but also regain the sense that you are still in control of your health, one small choice at a time. Nighttime urination may feel like an unavoidable part of aging, but it does not have to be your destiny. The 3 bladder points we have explored are simple, safe, and completely free. They require no special tools, no prescriptions, and no complicated instructions. Just a few minutes each evening can begin to retrain the body, calm the bladder, and give you longer stretches of peaceful rest. For seniors in both America and India, these points offer more than comfort. They restore the belief that small actions still matter even in later years, and that better sleep is possible without relying only on pills or frustration. Remember, you have cared for others your entire life. You raised families, supported communities, and carried responsibilities with quiet strength. Now, these small nightly habits are a way to finally let your body care for you. Pressing the points, breathing deeply, and creating a calming routine are not just physical steps. They are reminders that your health is still in your hands. This is not about fighting age, but about partnering with your body, listening to it, and giving it the gentle guidance it needs to rest. Each night becomes an opportunity not for struggle, but for healing. So here is my invitation to you. Try this practice for 7 days and notice how your nights begin to change. If you feel even a small improvement, share your experience in the comments because your story may encourage someone else. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel, press the like button, and type the word HOPE below. Together, we can build a community where aging does not mean losing control, but rather finding new ways to live with peace, dignity, and quiet strength.